are again at our 3:30 show at the Headwater Science Center. Now, as like last week, yeah, we did that exhibit over there. We're going to talk about an exhibit. This is our part of our virtual field trip. This is one of the Pacific Science Center original exhibits from 1993. And it's been a great exhibit because it does things to demonstrate science principles that are both very scientific and things that aren't very scientific at all, like why does my hair blow when I do that? I mean, that's interesting enough. But what we have here is a big, strong fan blowing air through this tube. And then here's the part of the show that's a little bit controversial. We explain this in terms of the Bernoulli principle. Well, I'm sure Daniel would be proud that we still teach his principles, but it's not absolutely correct. And so, given that we are science, we do correct where and when we can. And the Bernoulli principle, quite simply put, says that when you speed up a fluid, you actually lower its pressure. And that's a little bit counterintuitive, and yet, is it? Let's think about it. What that would suggest is that the corollary, that if I change the tube size, it should speed up. Now, we've all sort of done this with a hose, putting our finger in the nozzle, and it seems to go further and speed up. And it seems to, wait a minute, didn't the pressure go up? No, not within the fluid. The stream went further, but the pressure did not actually go up within the fluid. Now, this is one of the oldest gags in the slapstick world, and it's just essentially this, where you go, do you like ketchup or mustard? And you go, oh, I like, when it works, ketchup, I like ketchup. And so it's sort of just, but think about that as a low, when we changed the nozzle size, we sped it up, but we lowered the pressure. But then why did it fly out of there? Because the pressure within it was actually shrunk. And so if you think about this, if we completely block off the nozzle, the pressure goes up, but the speed goes down. So you have to think about this sideways, back and forth, and all around the way to get it. So, in other words, Bernoulli's effect principle is working within the system. When we speed it up, the pressure goes down. But it's not like the pressure went up. Well, it didn't. It just, within the system, it did not change. Well, let's just start doing some things and show some things that are true and are not true. And then we'll take this idea and we'll try and straighten it out scientifically. So when I push this button and the stream of air goes out, the ball rises. Not surprising. And then it sort of finds its place back down due to the pull of gravity. But the explanation suggests that the reason we can do this is because when we speed up the air around the ball, it creates a lower pressure. It does at this point, but not, the Bernoulli principle does not describe two systems in one place. In other words, there's another system in effect here, which is the natural air pressure that's out here. And that is what really helps us understand this principle, and that is through that explanation. Let's change the sign, okay, in our minds, and we'll change the sign in other ways. And let's try to further demonstrate this principle here. Get this ball again, like we said, put it into the stream. We're going to see if we can't show this principle in the extreme, and it'll. So if you see the ball changing in the stream, and now watch it. There's a point at which gravity overcomes it. Well, let's explain what's happening here in terms of the Coanda effect. Let's when you go further away, you get almost a little bit more than 45 degrees before it slips on us. So let's try that with, I thought that we haven't tried this ball yet. Here, try it with this ball. Put this ball in the stream and see if we'll see it even more so well explained. So the Bernoulli effect, or principle, were correct, it would say that it was enveloping that ball in. But what's actually happening is the Coanda effect. And what that says is that when this stream strikes the ball, it can't go through the ball. And so it goes around the ball and actually tries to meet itself on the other side. And what it does is that it actually sticks to the ball. And as it pushes it out, there's a point at which it's pushed it goes crazy and would fly off. But gravity holds it in as long as we're at some kind of angle, and it pushes it out. But that lower pressure, that sticking to the ball of the pressure, is what creates lower pressure and holds the ball in. Now, if you're listening closely, you go, yeah, but that sounds the same. It's not really. The Bernoulli principle cannot extend into two different fluid systems. One, but the Coanda effect can. Let's look at that again. I like this quote. Let's try this other one. Let's see how this works. Let's see if that one does. We'll put that into this stream. Let's see how that one. I may not have the gumption for this one. We'll let it get settled in, and then it's not my favorite ball. I think I like this one the best. Let's try putting that one in the stream again. I'll see if we can. Too far out, because I pointed it too far. Our gravity is pulling it down, but there's a low pressure system underneath that ball that's drawing it into an envelope that's holding it forth. Let's move over here, Ryan, have some fun. Let's see if this thing will work for us. We're going to take one of the exhibits we looked at the other day and see if we can't. This is going to explain more of a Bernoulli effect or principle here, and we'll see if we can't have some speed increases that are measured. I'm going to change the nozzle. Stay there. Quickly do this. Now in a better, more well-funded set, we'd have two of these things, and why do we do that? So here's what we're going to do. Is this exhibit on, Ryan? Yep. You believe it is? So again, the speed, 35. The speed allegedly coming out of this thing is, here, come over and help me load this thing up here. Let's just keep one balls in there and see if we can't get a multiple shot going on for fun. Try that one. Well, such is it. If you want to come in and continue the controversy about the Coanda versus the Bernoulli effect or principle, go ahead. Here's an experiment I want you to try if you're driving home in the car. It actually talks more to Coanda than Bernoulli. When you stick your hand out the window, you can rudder it and make it rise. Well, you look at your hand and then try it the other way. It still works. And this Coanda notion explains why planes can fly upside down, because that air sticks to the bottom edge. Now there are some race teams that have tried to take advantage of this effect before, and there are some aircraft that use this Coanda notion where they have used their jet exhaust to actually help give them lift, rise. In race cars, they've used their engine exhaust to help push the car down onto the track, give it more traction in its rear wheels. Since NASCAR, different race circuits, rules have changed to say, no, you guys got an advantage there. Everybody's got to play the same car. who knows, someday we'll probably have that exhaust back pushing the car down on the track. But yeah, if you want to come on in and continue the controversy, let's talk about it. Let's work it out.
Can you spell Quanda effect for those?
C-O-A-N-D, Quanda. C is C, not K, where it seems like it would be. Say C-O-A-N-D-A. Even NASA promotes some of this stuff as a simpler way to talk about aircraft's lift and drag and pull to gravity. But the truth of the matter is, while the mathematics works out, it doesn't completely explain itself in terms of, if we got Daniel here, he would tell us, yeah, it's not really me. I don't deserve that one. So again, as a scientist, we're ready to change our story when we see the evidence start swinging another direction. It's just part of the progression of science that the yesterday's ceiling is tomorrow's floor, and so we move on. That's all I have today. Come on in. Our exhibit floor is now open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And we're doing school groups during the week, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have one next week. So come on in. These virtual field trips aren't the same as coming here and bouncing the balls around and seeing how things fly and how things fall and how things go live and in person. That's it, Ryan.